My project is about Ira Aldridge, who was the first black actor to take the English stage, and he was a Shakespearean tragedian, and he played Othello as one of his most prolific performances, as well as Orinoco and many other plays that he did. But I was concentrating on his performances in the Northwest and the sort of the regional areas of England rather than London. I was particularly drawn to this topic because I did my dissertation in slave narratives, so I found that doing this was sort of like a good way to follow the trajectory of black performance and black actors and also just important black figures in history. And I found it really interesting that he was born in New York and he performed in New York, where he chose to come to England because he found that the audiences would be more accepting, especially for the work that he wanted to do, which was Shakespeare, which was unheard of for black people to be performing at the time, and because they weren't meant to be educated, obviously, and I found it really interesting to follow that trajectory. At the current moment in time, there are lots of discussions in the media and in literature generally about racism and race, and I think that performance researchers into performers such as Ira, I think they massively helped forward the argument for the contribution that other races have had in sort of English theatre and in English stage and in general sort of society and the literature and the culture. So I think that it's very interesting to find out more about this performer who, to be honest, has been sort of left in the background of the pages of history, but actually he was a trailblazer in his time. He was the first man to take the English stage, and just his reception as well was really interesting as well, because the regions or the provinces actually found him to be a great performer, whereas the London audiences, who you would think would be more liberal with their opinions, didn't really take to him so much. The way it's helped me is time management, because it's very difficult. When I was doing my dissertation, it was in a way more straightforward to follow that through, because you're sort of going to lectures and you're in that state of mind all the time. But this was over the summer in my own time, off my own back, and I think I found it really challenging at times to keep the focus on the question and not be diverted by Grey's Anatomy. But the time management, and also there's a discipline to research which I found really useful to explore as well. I personally will be continuing a Masters in Publishing at the University of Central Lancashire, so yeah, hopefully pursuing the love of literature.